and then the game just completely turned. They were hanging on, and then we thought they'd get the winner. It was just incredible drama. But that man there is without doubt.
Before, when he won the player of the tournament, when he went over, was a really iconic looking picture. I'll have that one, but like, yeah, it's great to see the greats getting what they deserve. Delighted for him, delighted for Argentina.
Great images. It took a while to get there with all the presentations. But no, fantastic. We can't say any more. Well deserved. Messi to finish your international career. Worthy winners. They were fantastic.
You're right, the picture of him where he walks past where he's collecting the player of the tournament and he kisses it for the first time is going to be the iconic image.
You were the one, Gary, who found this list, so I'll quickly give it to everybody. Messi has won 10 La Ligas, 1 Liga 1, 7 Spanish Cup, 8 Spanish Super Cup, 4 Champions League, 3 UEFA Super Cup, 3 Club World Cup, I forgot 1 French Super Cup, 7 Ballon d'Or, 1 Copa America and 1 World Cup.
Wow, I think the World Cup. I think him holding that there, probably he gets it over the best. He's the best in his generation for me. I think that tips it for me, and just with that, because that is what I.
You don't need a cabinet for all that. You need a lorry to keep all those moments in. That is just extraordinary.
I think that cements it for me. Best in his generation. People will still talk about the best ever, but I'm talking about in his generation.
Mark, we were just here discussing the noise in this stadium, just shy of 90,000 people in here. They've just finished the presentation, but they're still out there celebrating, and all of the fans pretty much from Argentina have stayed here, and they've just been incredible this whole tournament from the very beginning. And Karen, when you watch them lift the trophy there, it's kind of easy also to forget the fact that they actually lost their opening game to Saudi Arabia, which at the time was such an exciting game. It felt like the World Cup had really kick-started in that game, hadn't it?
It feels a lifetime ago, Laura, especially after this game. I feel sick. I feel emotionally I've been on a roller coaster, so I don't know how everyone at home feels, and equally the players. But you're right, when they lost their opening game, everyone kind of questioned them a little bit. But when you have the character that they do, when you have Messi, wow, you can never ever write them off. And it was just a phenomenal finish for the tournament. It was the best game I think I've ever been to, and I apologise to the Lionesses. It was just an absolute privilege, because this game we'll talk about for 60, 70 years. It was breathtaking.
There was a kind of romance from the beginning really with this Argentina side, because it was set up in the way it was Messi's last World Cup, so it felt like almost it would be right for him to have this, but they had to fight their way through it. And ever since that game, that loss to Saudi Arabia, they had to keep winning. They had to play knockout football pretty much from the beginning. There were some amazing moments in this World Cup, not just involving Argentina though. What was your favourite?
Well, to be fair, I'm now just watching Messi with his kids, sorry Laura, but wow, what a moment for them. I think all of this tournament's been brilliant. I think there's been so many ups and downs, but I still keep going back to this moment, Laura. Messi there with his family, because throughout this tournament there was no way that he was ever going to let the fans down, or his family, or anyone from Argentina, that he was always going to go home with that trophy. Even throughout the game today, there was just one person that was always dragging them through, and that was him. You know, other players had their moment. Martinez, McAllister was brilliant for 80 odd minutes, but Messi, for me, I've never seen anything like it, and anyone more human like that play a live game. Unbelievable.
It's a footballing nation as well that's been starved of this for over 36 years. So to see it come together like this in this World Cup, and with the amount that these fans have travelled and supported, they have been the dominant force in every game that they've played in. In some of these games, it's felt like it's 95% Argentinian fans. It feels richly deserved in that sense, doesn't it?
It does, and I wonder where the penalties were right behind the Argentina fans. That was a big factor, I think, for the French players. You just saw how intimidating it was for them. But look, it's been a privilege, and thank you for being an epic teammate as well. It's been the best experience ever, so I'm so grateful.
I am so grateful as well. I have to say, this has been the most amazing experience, and to see Lionel Messi win it after 7 Ballon d'Ors, and just to add to his rich collection of medals and trophies, it does feel very, very special.
Everybody.
Night for Argentina. Was it like the whole country holding their breath, Katie?
Absolutely, the silence was deafening when they thought that they might even be losing this after so much confidence. Everybody here is pouring out onto the streets of Buenos Aires, celebrating their number 10, Lionel Messi, as well as the whole team. Of course, this was just a victory that they only dared dream of, a victory that Argentina didn't just want to win. I think it needed to win. It's a country that's been battered economically, high inflation, people struggling month to month. People have told me crying that this World Cup meant so much to them. It brought Argentina together, and of course they wanted it personally for Lionel Messi, but it's also brought together the whole of South America. Normally footballing rivals such as Brazil, they put down that rivalry and put it aside and have all been gunning for Argentina to win this and win the cup back from France. So this is a moment that people here don't want to forget. They want to be here celebrating until the early hours.
Katie, thank you. Well, obviously very different sentiments in France. Lucy Williamson, our correspondent, is in Paris now. And of course, they were hoping to retain this trophy, Lucy.
This was meant to be such a big moment for France, wasn't it? And actually, you could have powered the country from the energy in this room tonight. Crowds of people also standing in the freezing rain outside all the bars here, watching through the windows, breaking into spontaneous renditions of the national anthem. A pretty grim first half, it has to be said, but the mood really picked up in the second half, a feeling that the momentum might ultimately be with France. Of course, it wasn't, but they did put up quite a battle. Kylian Mbappe, 23 years old, 3 goals and a penalty goal. France might no longer be champions of the world tonight, but I'll bet that Kylian Mbappe is still the champion of France.
Lucy, thank you very much. Lucy Williamson there. And let's go back now to Dan Rowan, our sports editor, because tonight, Dan, it's not only about this final, though it was a remarkable moment, but also the end of this entire tournament. And as you look back on it, how do you think we'll remember Qatar 2022?
Well, it will be remembered, I think, as Lionel Messi's World Cup and his final, this pursuit of the one major trophy to elude him until now has come to define this wonderful footballer, and it is simply a fantastic story, isn't it, ultimately, that he's managed to achieve it in this, his final World Cup. For many, it will mean that he enters the pantheon of all-time greats alongside Pelé and Maradona and ends any debate over whether or not he was the best of his generation. And of course, this will all be welcomed by the Qatari host, because it does help to reinforce the sense of a very entertaining and groundbreaking World Cup. The first, of course, in the Middle East and in winter. There's been some fantastic matches, no least, of course, the final itself. And it will mean that many people remember it for that match rather than the huge controversy in the build-up over human rights and the deaths of migrant workers, concerns over discriminatory laws and the possible environmental impact. There will be many who, regardless of what happened here this evening, always feel that the World Cup shouldn't have taken place here. But remember, both Messi and Mbappe are teammates at Paris Saint-Germain, a club owned by Qatar. And so the hosts, I think, ultimately, thanks in large part to tonight, will feel that they've won alongside Argentina.
Dan, thank you.